Hi, I'm Jacinta Cunahan and this is Coast Community News 5 at 5, February 26. Coming up this week, Facebook ban reversed. E-petition reaches over 20,000 signatures. 42% is the new 15. Premier visits the coast. And Hollywood comes to the Central Coast. But let's start off with David, who has more on Facebook reversing their news ban.
Thanks, JC. Last week, you'll remember Facebook censored all local news outlets across Australia from their platform, censoring your comments on our articles. This week, they announced that they were going to reverse the ban. CCN was censored for over a week, something that did restrict legitimate and validated debate on our community pages. But very real issues, it's gratifying to see that the Australian government had the courage to take this up. It's also pleasing to see that the impasse was broken, though the community can now see in full view the power of Facebook's algorithms. Their data formulas have, for many years, decided what news you see and from where. Anyway, now we know. Back to you, JC.
Thanks, David. Now back to a story a little closer to home. The e-petition calling for a judicial inquiry into the Central Coast Council has reached its target of over 20,000 signatures and will now be debated in State Parliament. We spoke with the petition creators Susan Green and Marianne Hamilton about their plight.
I was shocked out of my retirement torpor of, grandchildren and baking cakes and painting and various other things. And when I saw this over $500 million in debt, I thought, in my name, this is hilarious. I mean, one part of me was saying it was hilarious, but another part of me was saying, how did this happen? And then I thought, well, we need to get somebody to look into this.
I would really urge everybody to write to their local members, indicate that they have, if they have signed the petition and that they want something done about this and that we should not be responsible for this mess, that it's the state government's fault, in a sense that it's been, all this has happened on the state government's watch. For some reason, they have failed in their duty to us ratepayers and the community in general to oversee the financial management, the proper financial management of this council.
Administrator Dick Person has confirmed that some rates in the former Gosford region will increase by up to 42%. In another development, Dick Person announced yesterday in an extraordinary meeting that he will announce the Central Coast Council's new CEO next Tuesday.
Council is to offer the preferred applicant the position of Chief Executive Officer of Central Coast Council as set out in the confidential selection panel report.
Now let's go back to David, who spoke with a very well-known guest who visited the coast today.
That's right, JC. The Premier Gladys Berejiklian visited the coast on a whirlwind tour today, announcing a major reconstruction of a primary school at Killarney Vale and morning tea with local emergency service volunteers. Then she opened the remarkable Leagues Club Park development on Gosford waterfront, alongside our guests and dignitaries. Here's a little from the opening just now.
We as a government made a conscious decision that we wanted to make our public spaces special. We wanted the local communities who enjoy the public spaces to feel connected and to feel part of a natural environment. And I hope everybody feels that's what's been achieved here. It's certainly what we feel has been achieved.
And Central Coast newspapers secured an in-depth interview with the Premier that we will publish next week on our website, on YouTube and on Spotify. Just search for Central Coast News and you'll find that interview. Back to you, Jacinta.
Aged care nurses and supporters were protesting in Gosford this week to highlight the need for staffing ratios and a greater transparency of government funding linked to care. We spoke with one of the protesters about their concerns.
I'm here today because the Aged Care Commission is bringing out a report on Friday with regards to hopefully changes that going forward will make a huge difference to aged care. For too long, aged care has had issues addressed with a Band-Aid. We need to have a full revamp of the conditions and the essential requirements of what's provided in aged care. We need proper skill mix in the industry. We need people who have gone into hospital with acute injuries, coming to aged care with illnesses. They don't leave them behind in hospital. They need to have that proper ongoing medical care.
Minister for Transport and Roads Andrew Constance was in Kangiangi this week to announce the official opening of the new intercity fleet maintenance facility. Here is what he had to say.
Kangiangi, this is exciting because this is where the trains are going to be serviced, they're going to be maintained, they're going to be cleaned. And to be able to see 90 full-time jobs being provided here on the Central Coast to maintain trains which will service communities from the Illawarra out to Lithgow, up to Newcastle is something which is very exciting for the region. And there is no doubt this procurement does lead to local jobs and a wonderful benefit for the local people on the Central Coast.
It's time for sport and weather with Hawk and Hayley.
Thanks, JC. Well, a week has passed since the Central Coast Mariners lost away to Adelaide 3-2 at the doing by not one but 3 VAR upheld penalties to the hosts, each controversial in their own way. Since then, A-League referees boss Stebri Delavisky has conceded that 2 of them were wrongfully awarded, yet again drawing unwanted attention on the subjective inclusion of what is supposed to be objective video technology. Mariners coach Alan Stajic comments.
Look, you're always angry on the night, but by the time the clock strikes midnight, you've got to focus on the next game, and I think 99.999% of the people who saw the clip would say it wasn't a pen. So look, the VAR should have intervened, but I think they've admitted to that they shouldn't have been a foul, shouldn't have been a pen, should have been reviewed.
Now looking forward to this weekend, Mingara Athletics Club will be hosting the 2021 New South Wales Country Championships from this afternoon through to tomorrow evening. This is the first major competition at Mingara Regional Athletics Centre since last month's State Interclub shown here. At this event, Mingara will be competing for points as a club in the hopes of winning the much longed for Hooper Cup. And finally, the Central Coast Surf Life Saving Squad has been selected to represent their home region at the 2021 New South Wales Interbranch competition to be hosted on home sand at Shelley Beach. The team of 40 athletes from under-12s to opens, representing 10 Central Coast clubs, first met together on Saturday for their initial training and a chance to belt out their club chant.
Thanks, Hawk. It looks like it's going to be another rainy one, but you still might get a chance to hang out that weekend washing. Saturday will be a max of 24, but a cloudy one with a high 70% chance of showers, which will most likely be in the morning and afternoon. Sunday might be slightly muggy with a max of 28, partly cloudy, and a 40% chance of showers, most likely in the morning and afternoon. There's a chance of a thunderstorm in the afternoon as well, with some light winds. And now to the beach, where we will see a south-southeasterly swell mixing with background east swells at low levels, favouring the most exposed beaches for size and best before the mid-morning high tide. Speaking of the beach, some towns on the southern part of the Central Coast have been transformed into sets for a new Netflix series. From what we know, the series is set in the state of Georgia, USA, and will be featuring actress Toni Collette. Some locals have supposedly been acquired as extras. To watch, listen, or read about this story and more, pick up a copy of this week's Coast Community News, Coast Community Chronicle, and Pelican Post, or go to our website or socials for all updates. And like we said, we are back on Facebook, so feel free to leave us a comment and let us know how much you missed us. We hope you have a lovely weekend. See you next week.